Welcome to Rocky Mountain Gamers. Thanks for joining us on our podcast. If it's your first time here, hit the like and subscribe button below and join us regularly for all things gaming. How you doing today, Lee?
I'm doing great, man. Been a good, fun day.
It's been a crazy couple of days, hasn't it?
Absolutely. It's not E3 week yet, is it?
No, it's not E3 week for another, 12 days, almost 2 weeks.
Could have fooled me.
Exactly 2 weeks, actually. The first E3 event, the Summer Game Fest, will start 2 weeks from tonight. 2 weeks from today. Jeff Keighley's event that's going to kind of lead into the official E3 show, which is from the 12th to the 15th. And we've just been getting bombarded, haven't we?
Absolutely. I love it. I love the lead up to E3. It's always a lot of fun.
It is. Tonight, we were going to talk about some of the things that we've seen in the last couple of days and what we like about them, what we don't like about them. Is there anything we haven't liked?
Very little that I haven't liked, I gotta say. Oh, maybe Dragon Quest X not coming to North America. I didn't like that.
That we know of.
But it said not planned for international.
Did it for the offline too? I didn't see that.
You're right. Offline is still up in the air. And in fact, I think that's a possibility because they didn't specifically state that it wasn't.
Right. So that's I'm hedging all my hopes on offline. But let's start there. Last night, Square Enix did a 35th,
if you can believe it.
Last night, Square Enix did a 35th anniversary celebration for Dragon Quest. Had creators there, and they just rapid fired a bunch of stuff. They started things off a little Eastern centric with a DQ mobile game that we really don't care anything about, and some updates to Dragon's Quest X, which we care about, but we can't play. And then they introduced a super deformed version of Dragon's Quest X, Dragon's Quest X Offline. It's going to feature the story and the characters, different artwork. And it looks like, to me, that's our best chance to get Dragon's Quest X.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cute, chibi sort of graphical style with the main story in there, but no online capabilities. It almost feels like that's their way of bridging the gap and bringing us some sort of Dragon Quest X to North America.
And it makes sense. It's hard to justify running multiple MMOs. You have to have an audience is going to show up for an MMO and subscribe every month for an MMO. I know they had to work like hell to make Final Fantasy 14 work, to the point of going back and basically redesigning it. So while there might be an audience for Dragon's Quest X, I think they're nervous about that.
Well, and there's a huge infrastructure involved with putting out online games. You need the servers, like you said, you need the subscription models, you need a way to, purchase it. There's just a lot to it. And I still feel like Square Enix is a little bit gun shy about bringing Dragon Quest in all of its entirety to the US and to Canada. But I feel like this presentation was a step in the right direction towards doing that.
I agree. I absolutely agree. So we had Dragon's Quest X online, Dragon's Quest X offline. We have a little hope, but no confirmation. They didn't say anything about a Western release. And then they went into a couple of games we are going to get. The first one I still am not quite clear on. Dragon's Quest Treasure Hunter?
I think it's called, is it Treasure Hunter or just Treasures? But again, it looks like they were talking about it being a traditional-ish JRPG, but it would run a little bit differently than your average JRPG. And they didn't really elaborate on what that meant, but it looked like it would involve several of the characters from Dragon Quest XI, and sort of like a side spin-off adventure.
And the characters they're talking about, they're like children versions of
Yeah,
the
so I don't
characters
know.
from DQ11.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's sort of a prequel kind of thing or just a different art style. I'm not sure, but I'm interested for sure. I would like to hear more.
Definitely. I haven't gotten into the Dragon's Quest side stories as much. Dragon's Quest Builders, Dragon's Quest Dungeons. I haven't really gotten drawn into those like I have the main series.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I mean, I've played a few for sure, like Monsters back in the day. But lately it's been pretty mainline Dragon Quest and remake. You can pretty much pitch me any kind of remake, remaster of any of the mainline Dragon Quests, and I'm playing it 100% day one, has to happen kind of thing.
Absolutely. Even though I'm still waiting kind of patiently for Switch versions of 4 through 6.
Yes. I was kind of
We got them on
kind of
DS. They've been translated.
yeah, again, I would love to see that. Hopefully, one day.
But I'm hoping Dragon's Quest Treasure or Treasure Hunter. I will post what it actually is below after we look it up again. But that's kind of how much it's stuck. Then they went to excuse me. Then they went to Dragon Quest HD 2D remake of Dragon Quest 3.
Yeah, in full Octopath style graphics.
It looked so beautiful.
Oh, and Dragon Quest 3 is one of my favorite Dragon Quests.
It's an amazing game. And for those who don't know, that's kind of the direct prequel to Dragon's Quest 11.
Right.
Which is, they don't do that a lot in the series. You don't have games that follow into other games in the series very often.
Absolutely. And the cool thing about this is you could essentially apply that sort of 2D HD remake style to a ton of the earlier Dragon Quests. And so I wonder if this is almost like a test to see how well this sort of thing is received, or how much it sells or whatever.
Yes, please. That's what I have to say about that.
Maybe I'll buy a couple copies just to kind of move things along for Square Enix there.
Yeah, that's a game that turns into a gift for me. That's what I end up doing, buying copies for people.
Yes.
Gotta try this. Please try it. Please play it. Please go online and talk about it.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I'm super excited. That was honestly as excited as I am for the next game we're going to talk about. That was probably the jewel there for me. Like that was.
I agree. That was the highlight of the night. Well, and it was the highlight of the night because the next game we're going to talk about, we still don't know anything about.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, had I seen more about it,
Dragon's Quest 12, The Flames of Fate. Wait, I need to say that better. Dragon's Quest 12, The Flames of Fate.
Yes, needs that darker tone to it.
All they really showed was the name. The 12 got burned in with fire, which was kind of cool. They're implying that it's kind of a more adult Dragon's Quest.
Yes.
I hope that doesn't overly affect the art style, because Dragon's Quest has had something of consistent art style, unlike Final Fantasy, the whole way.
Yeah, and
it's gotten prettier, certainly, as hardware's gotten more powerful, but it's a very consistent art style.
Yeah, and I kind of like the fact that Dragon Quest, even when it gets a bit serious, is still a little bit lighthearted.
Right.
Like it's the series that is going to have a happy ending eventually. And I kind of like that about it, but again, I think you could take a darker approach to that and still have that feel of Dragon Quest.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure
I
they'll do a
agree.
good job.
Absolutely. Well, overall, what did you think of their 35th anniversary? Uh, they showed merchandise too, which unfortunately we don't get enough of in this country.
Again, they're doing some cool stuff with the series, and the series and the franchise is huge in Japan. And they're still 35 years later working at really making it mainstream in North America, which I appreciate. I don't think they're all the way there yet, but every year I think it gets a little closer.
I think Dragon's Quest 11 helped a lot.
Absolutely.
I think they got a lot of attention with that. I think they've gotten a lot of new followers with that.
Definitely. And I think having it cross-platform is a big deal as well.
I agree.
They brought, Dragon Quest 2 or Dragon Quest 11. It started on the PlayStation, and then they brought it to Xbox, and then they brought it to Switch, and then they brought it back to the PlayStation and Xbox. And I feel like,
and PC.
Yeah, that's right, and PC. And that's going to spur wider expansion of the series into North America. And I love that. Hopefully Dragon Quest 12 kind of seals the deal, and we start getting some cool Dragon Quest merchandise here as well in North America, because I would
need a big plush slime.
I would buy it all. The shirts look, I really want that dress shirt. I don't know if you've seen the dress shirt with the little slimes on it.
I haven't, but I'm gonna go find it.
So that was phenomenal.
Video.
I need to wear that to something fun.
That's awesome. So I agree. Dragon's Quest holds a special place in my heart. It was the first computerized RPG I ever played. I didn't play any of the early like Ultimas and stuff on PC, but I played Dragon Warrior when it came out on NES. Right away when it first released, and it led to an RPG obsession of mine. So it's always going to be the one that started the ball rolling.
And I think I'm in the same place with I think it was Nintendo Power that gave away the game.
They did after I already had one.
Yeah. See, I had rented it a bunch of times. And then that
somewhere I have a sealed copy because of that.
Ooh.
I don't know where. So that was last night. That was for people keeping track, May 26th. And then we woke up this morning, May 27th, to Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's right. Yeah, that was, let's see, our time. It was 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock PST about?
Yeah, 9 o'clock PST. 10 o'clock for those of us in the Rock.
And is that the 25th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog then?
30th.
30th, okay.
30 years of Sonic.
Crazy.
And now we're getting into when I was since I've actually been working in gaming. I was actually working in gaming when Sonic first came out.
Right on.
So hearing 30 years kind of wounds me there. But that's okay. Love the big blue blur. People don't realize we can thank Sonic the Hedgehog for one major thing. Thanks to Sonic, games started getting actual release dates.
Really?
Before Sonic the Hedgehog, video games did not have release dates. They had it'll be out around this time, and you would go to a major retailer and they'd get it first, and then if you had a local game store, they'd get it 2 weeks later. Could come in on Tuesday, could come in on Friday. There was no guaranteed release date. And then Tom Kalinske over at Sega came up with Sonic Tuesday. For Sonic 2, actually. Sonic the Hedgehog didn't do it. It was Sonic 2. It was Sonic Tuesday. And that's when games started getting actual dates like movies and music and videos did.
Wow. And see, I wasn't in the industry at that time. I would have been a little bit younger still. And I do remember that, though. I remember you kind of just showed up. I distinctly remember this for Super Mario Brothers 3, and we would just wander into the mall whenever we could and like, hey, do you have Super Mario Brothers 3 yet? And nope, not yet. And it kind of just waited for it, you know?
There was one store we could pre-order at, and it was G&G Gaming, which was owned by Capcom. They had a number of stores here in the US. They had one in Denver. And G&G for Ghosts and Goblins. And they would let you pre-order. And when Mario 3 came out, I got the phone call in a snowstorm, and they gave me 12 hours to pick it up.
And you were fighting through that snowstorm. It didn't really matter.
No, it really didn't. I was an adult. Nobody could stop me. Yes, I was an adult driving through the snow to get Mario 3, and so I could call in sick to work the next day.
Well worth it. Well worth it.
So the Sonic presentation was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to focus a lot on re-releasing Sonic Colors, which I will admit I never played.
And neither did I.
And I had no idea it had these kind of space themes. I was lost. I was completely lost with Sonic Colors. But it looks cool.
It does look cool. That's the thing. I guess I kind of need to go back and look at what it was on the Wii. But what I've seen today, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looked neat. And some of the powers and such look really cool. So there's a new version of Sonic Colors coming, and looking forward to seeing what that's all about, actually.
Absolutely. And it's a budget-ish title. Like, it's not a full
right
title. It's $39.99 US, I think.
Yeah. It's not bad at all.
And it comes with a Baby Sonic keychain, I think.
Yeah.
As if they needed to seal the deal a little bit further for me. That's all I'll be giving that. I mean, it's $54.99 here in Canada, and that's budget for us. So I'm definitely gonna be giving that a shot. Again, probably on Switch, because I like to be able to take my games on the go.
No doubt.
But that's exciting.
So we have that, and then they went into Sonic Collection. I don't know exactly what they called it.
Origins, I think.
Another bunch of re-releases. Looks like a good package, mind you. Sonic 2, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic. Didn't have Sonic Spinball, but it did have Sonic CD on it.
Nice. Yeah, that was actually the compilation I was hoping for. So when they announced that was made the presentation for me right at that point. I'm interested in hearing more. Again, they kind of glanced over it very rapidly. The whole presentation was actually kind of rapid.
The whole thing was only 15 minutes.
Yeah, like I guess they had to get through a lot really fast, but that's what I'm excited about, and I can't wait to hear more about that one.
And I agree. It looks like it's going to be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went. They didn't talk about the new movie. They did talk about a new animation.
Yeah, based on Colors, I think.
Yeah, based on Colors.
And that looked good.
And then they went to the next mainline title, which will be out in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give a name. It looked real. I mean, I thought they were going to be talking about the movie, because it looked like the movie character running through real woods. And then they said it was, the game. I don't know what kind of graphics to expect. If it's graphics like they showed there, which I can't wrap my head around, that would be cool.
And or what type of game, or basically
I don't know what kind of game.
Yeah.
If it's going to be straight up action, or if it'll be another Sonic Adventure-ish title. Sadly, unlike Mario, Sonic has not had the best, or most consistent at least, offering of games. They kind of go hot and cold.
And what kind of game would you want to see?
Honestly, I would like to see a structure like a 3D Mario game with those kind of levels, but straight 3D platformer, not adventure.
I think that's probably what I would enjoy seeing the most too. Um, it sounds like it's going to be fairly cross-platform, so I wonder if that impacts what they can do with it from a technology standpoint.
Sure it does.
It must, right?
I mean, whenever you go cross-platform, you have to design for the lowest common denominator, and then you can bump up your resolution. You can bump up, things that can be enhanced, textures and shadows and lighting, but the base has to be for that lowest common denominator.
Right. And since they're aiming for 2022, which I would assume Dragon Quest 12 is as well, I mean, the console landscape might look a little different as well.
I would think so. I think you're talking about some other rumors we've heard in the last 24 hours. It's been a busy 24 hours.
Has it ever?
Last night, on the 26th again, report came out from Bloomberg. So, not some blogger somewhere deciding to stir things up. And according to Bloomberg, Nintendo is getting ready to announce its next system. It's, enhanced system, follow-up system, whatever you want to call it. The Switch Pro, the Super Switch, I've heard. I still like Switch Advanced. I'm sure I'm the only one who appreciates the callback to the Game Boy Advance name. But whatever it's going to be called, they're saying it should be announced anytime and would be starting to be released in late September, early October.
That would make me so happy.
I think it would explain a lot. There's, rumor has abounded since 2018. The Switch came out in March of 2017. The rumors started on a Switch Pro in 2018. We're 4 years in, and we have the Switch Lite is the only new SKU that they've given. They stated famously that we're about halfway through the Switch life cycle now, and they're planning to sell a ridiculous number of systems in their current fiscal year, 30 million systems.
Yes.
Something has to be drawing that, and all we're left with is to pull from rumor and speculation. But there seems to be a lot of credible information, credible leaks about the types of the display that it's going to get, types and size of the display with that new OLED. There seems to be consensus that it's going to be capable of 4K output. They haven't talked about a whole lot else other than a little bit more powerful, better screen, and then better on TV output. Regardless, if it's true, a lot of people are going to buy another Switch.
Oh, absolutely. And it kind of brings together why maybe a lot of these presentations have the big announce of the big game, Dragon Quest 12, new Sonic game. It makes me wonder if they're not showing anything because they can't talk about what platforms it may be on because it's still kind of hush hush.
Absolutely.
But that's very exciting. If we see something about that before E3, these next 2 weeks are going to be extremely exciting.
And it would make sense to drop that information before E3, because then anybody participating in Summer Game Fest, anybody participating in E3 would be able to say, hey, we have these games planned and they're going to be enhanced on Switch Max or whatever.
Right.
that makes sense to me.
It completely makes sense. And of course, that's basically what the rumors are saying. It makes a lot of sense. And that's very exciting. So I really hope that those rumors pan out, because I can't wait.
Yeah, it's I take my money, please.
Absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, the next time we're doing this next week, we'll actually be talking about the actual announcement.
That would make me very happy.
That would be cool. So from rumors and speculation to what for me was the big game presentation of the last couple of days, which was Horizon Forbidden West, sequel
Right.
to Horizon Zero Dawn. And Sony gave us 14 minutes of gameplay today, which was just so beautiful. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank looks great. It really does. Miles Morales looked great. This is the first time I've looked at footage like this and thought, that's next gen.
It really felt next gen, as they kind of move through environments, and you watched how seamless the combat looks and right into cut scenes, and it felt next gen, seamless, fast, crisp.
Yeah, it flowed wonderfully.
Just beautiful. That was 14 minutes. I really wished I was playing, like whoever was actually playing that, they got to record that. I'm like, oh man, if I could be that guy or that gal.
Yeah, the only thing I thought there is I couldn't be that guy or gal because I'd have died 300 times.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It looks like the game might require some skills. You don't know what kind of helpers they're going to, but all I'm thinking is, I'm over 50. This is going to be tough.
Yeah, I need an easy mode in there somewhere.
Yeah, easy mode is good.
Yeah, I would take an easy mode.
I know this is cliche. This is terribly cliche, but oh God, the water was so beautiful.
That was, I think, my favorite part, like just how it went from seamless swimming and like just the draw distance and looking through the water at the wildlife in the water, and when the creature went by, and then seamlessly she got out of the water and back into the forest, and I was like, that was quite something. Like, that was well done.
And it was like the water's so clear, but you still know it's water. You still, it's crystal clear inside. The visuals are beautiful, but it still feels like water.
Yeah, definitely.
Without any fogginess, without any, it was a different look for water, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of comes down to the draw distance a bit. Like you feel like you could see forever through the water, as far as you would normally see, in that kind of crystal clear water. There was no breaking from there was no illusion. It just felt seamless and integrated,
Yeah, it was just like the most beautiful water ever.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Real water. That's okay. The creatures look good, and I'm guessing we're going to see some new machines.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
The new power abilities, I guess powers isn't the right word. She's not Spider-Man. But the new abilities, like the glider, the ability to traverse vertically, those are really going to enhance the game. The kind of grappling hook that lets her kind of zip out of a situation if it gets bad, and if there's a place to attach it to. Those things are really neat.
Yeah, that can add a lot of cool gameplay mechanics, and boss fights could very well add a lot to it.
So they did not give a date on that. A lot of people are hoping it's still 2021. There was a tweet from the developer afterwards that just vaguely said it was on track, which means it could still be 2021, and maybe a date will get announced around E3 or around Summer Game Fest. The original Horizon Zero Dawn came out in February. So, it wouldn't be beyond them. They're not going to release it if it's not ready. But it wouldn't be beyond them for them to just say, okay, it's February now.
Yes,
So we gotta wait for an announcement there. The sooner the better.
they did say that to expect news very soon. And when a developer is saying that right now, and there's E3 looming on the horizon, I can't help but wonder if that's kind of what they're referencing. And they're kind of just wetting our palate
Yeah.
for whatever they're going to talk about at E3. And I mean, who knows what's going to happen, but very soon, and a big gaming event coming up, and wanting to stay on track for 2021, I think we'd find out then if we were going to find out.
Yeah, I hope so. We really need to find out.
Definitely.
So last, just because I don't want to completely leave it out, there was also a video dropped for Dying Light 2 today.
Right.
Stay Human. Dying Light 2, Stay Human. And it looked beautiful too. It's not really my jam. First person action zombie games. I like zombies. I like horror, but it's not really my wheelhouse. I'll probably give it a try at some point. But it did look gorgeous, and it does look like another hit. Definitely another AAA title. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, go on YouTube, Google it. There's new footage out there, and it does look very good.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it was well received. And they announced a new collector's edition of it, which looks elaborate and pretty great.
I love the elaborate ones.
Definitely an elaborate collector's edition. And I think they're aiming for December, is it, for the...
Sounds right.
Again, I missed that today, and I still have to catch up on that this evening.
I think it's December 7th.
December 7th, eh?
Yeah, I believe it's a Pearl Harbor Day release.
Okay.
Which is pretty much as close to the holidays as you can get for a holiday release.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It looks good. It looks solid if that's the kind of game you're into.
Awesome. That's a pretty darn good 24 hours of game trailers and announcements and gameplay. That's a great 24 hours.
Honestly, it makes me nervous.
How so?
If the pre-E3 announcements, if the stuff they're kind of, let's get this stuff out of the way, is this good? What are we going to see? I can't wait to see what we're going to see.
My wallet is already trembling in fear.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's intimidating. And pretty soon, my backlog is going to have its own backlog.
Yeah, seriously. I'm well past that. I'm not kind of like it doesn't. Well,
speaking of that, what are you playing right now?
So I'm still playing Fantasian on my phone, not even on the Apple TV, which again, I kind of moved that, and I love it. Like, I just love it. I have so much on the go right now. So many games I could be playing on the PS5, on the Switch, and instead I'm playing a mobile game on Apple Arcade, and it's, I don't regret it in the slightest. Fantasian feels like they brought a game from the Final Fantasy VII, Legend of Dragoon days, and kind of polished it until it shone with new technologies. And then they added then they added a killer soundtrack to it, and it's fantastic. I think I'm getting close to the end. I fought what I thought was the final boss yesterday night, and it turns out it was not the final boss in typical
Welcome to JRPGs.
Yeah, that's JRPG fashion. And I had to grind for probably 2 hours to even beat him.
Oh, no.
But man, I'm excited to finish this up. I feel like I'm still pretty close to the end, but I'm loving every second of it.
Excellent.
Yeah, what are you playing now?
I am playing. I got a copy just a couple of days early. I got a copy of Shin Megami Tensei 3. Jumped into it, and so
Nice.
I'm playing that. I'm about, I want to say, 20 hours in, and I had not played 3 before. I started that series with 4 on the 3DS, and started Persona with Persona 3, and then played 3, 4, 5, Royal, 4 Golden. So my current awareness of the series is kind of more modern.
Right.
And while this looks really good, it's a nice HD remake and has really interesting graphics. It's feeling a little dated to me,
Mm.
but it's still completely sucked me in. The story's great. The monsters are great. The demons that you can recruit and work with. I'm not a huge fan of the overworld transversal. That's okay, because the actual locations are a lot of fun. The actual dungeons, and it seems like you're almost always in a dungeon.
Right.
So I'm enjoying it. I wouldn't give it the kind of rousing, panting fanboy love that I gave Persona 5 Royale, because that game's insane. But it's going to hold me over, and thinking about how much I am enjoying it and thinking about how good the last couple of Persona games were, I'm really starting to get excited for Shin Megami Tensei 5, which last they said was still a 2021 worldwide release. We
Which
haven't heard anything for a while. Again, E3 is coming. I'm hoping they say something then. I'm hoping for a fall release. In these days of COVID, it could get moved back, but I think it's going to be fairly soon, and I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to stick to that 2021 for
I
Shin
hope
Megami
so.
Tensei. I like, because they just showed, some more on it. It feels like they're on track for that series. And I think you might be right. I think like they've kind of brought it into the new world after making incredible games like Persona 5 Royal and things that they've learned from those. I think the next Shin Megami Tensei is going to be incredible.
Here's to hope.
Yes.
Here's to hope. But anybody interested in checking the series out, anybody with a Switch, go ahead and pick up 3. You're not going to be disappointed. It's a fun game. Just don't expect Persona 4 or 5.
Right. I mean, this was quite a bit before those.
Yeah, originally 2003.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of this game kind of led to those and kind of laid the groundwork for them.
The story's so good, though.
I'm very much looking forward to playing it again. I have it en route. It has not arrived yet, but when it does,
Canadian Post.
Yeah, like I actually had a pre-order for it. The pre-order still hadn't shipped. So I ended up ordering another copy because the pre-order wasn't shipping for some reason. So I'm a bit behind on this one, and I hate when that happens in a game I'm anticipating. But what can you say? What can you do?
Well, as a closing of what I'm playing, I did get a PC copy of Biomutant.
Oh,
I
nice.
haven't plugged it in yet, but I am going to do some streaming of that on the Rocky Mountain Gamers Twitch channel. And I encourage people to check us out on Twitch too. I won't be streaming 4 or 5 times a week like some people do, but I hope to be getting a good stream session every week and share some time with you online.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
So, well, I think that wraps a pretty well-packed episode of Rocky Mountain Gamers. This is our first official episode. This is the first one we're releasing. So we're going to do this every week. We're going to get better. We're going to have a lot of fun. So like I said, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, give us a chance to prove that we can be one of your sources for entertainment and information with video games. We've been doing this a long time, and we really want to share our love of games with you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys.
All right. Have a great one, guys.